Hello and welcome to another quick PixInsight processing tutorial. This is for one-shot color data, and here I have two integrated stacks. This one on the left is RGB data. It was taken using an Optolong L quad enhance broadband light pollution filter, and on the right this is narrowband data. This was taken using an Optolong L Ultimate, so it's hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3. But how can we combine these two into one image? Well, that's what we're going to do today. To start with, I always like to actually bin my data because I'm a bit oversampled. So I'm going to do that first of all. We're going to downsample by 2 for this one, and then for this one. This will give us a signal to noise ratio boost, and it will also make the files smaller, which makes it faster for the computer to process. You might notice that these integrated stacks are of different orientations, so let's use fast rotation and just spin this one around so that they match. Next, I'm going to use the new gradient correction function. Now, I'm just going to stick with the defaults because I haven't had time to properly look into this function, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. So we're just going to use the defaults to see what comes out. That looks better, and let's do the same over here. Looking good. Now for each one, we're going to go to Script, Image Analysis, and Image Solver, just so that PixInsight can find out lots about each image, and that's going to be useful later on. That's done for the L quad, and now we'll do the same for the L ultimate. Image analysis, image solver, and OK. Now that's done, what I want to do is make sure these two images are perfectly lined up over each other so that when we combine them they will match. To do that, I'm going to go to star alignment. Let's use our L quad view as the reference, and our target image is going to be the ultimate. Should appear there. That's good. Output directory. I'm not sure we even need to do this, but we'll put a folder here, our work in progress folder, and then we're going to click on the circle. A new image is produced. Let's just run our screen link screen transfer function. Okie. To make sure these line up, let's make the two windows the same size, and then we can press Control and page down, and it will flip between the last two windows. You can see those line up perfectly. It's very good. There's a catch though. We can see we've got this black border that's been produced, but we can fix that quite easily. We're going to go to Dynamic Crop and hold down Control and then move with our mouse. Holding down Control keeps the aspect ratio. And we just want to have as much as possible, but not any of the black. And we can crop a few pixels in from the other edges if we want. Okay. Once that's looking good, we drag and drop the triangle over to the image that doesn't look like it needs cropping, but we want to crop it so that they both match. And then we click the tick to apply to that one. And then these two should be exactly overlaid. Perfect. We don't need this one anymore. Let's make some copies of these just in case we need to come back, in case we mess anything up. We're going to do BlurXTerminator soon, but as a prelude to that, we need to get some info. We need our PSF function for each image. So to get that, we're going to go to Script, we're going to go to Render, and then PSF image, and then let's evaluate. We can see here the results, and we want a number that's between the full width half maximum X and Y, so that's going to be about 1.63 I suppose. So we can click OK, then we can load up BlurXTerminator. We are not going to use the automatic, we're going to put the number that we got in, 1.63, and it's good to play about with this and try different versions of the settings, see what works well for you. I think that what we've got here, I might nudge the halos down a smidge, but I think this is looking pretty good, so let's apply that. A couple of minutes later and that's done. We need to repeat the process over here for our ultimate image, so we need to get that PSF, which one was that in render, wasn't it? PSF image. So let's get our number from here. Looks about the same, doesn't it? 1.63, 1.64, we'll just leave it the same and apply. And we're done! Hip hip hooray! So BlurXTerminator has been applied to both of these. Next we're going to run SPCC. This will sort the color calibration of these images. And we can do this because we ran the image solver earlier. Now, so the L quad is broadband data, so this is all looking good. Oh, we need to choose a bit of blank background to so it's got a neutralization reference. So we're going to go here, just anything that looks empty. That's our preview. We're going to select that to be our region of interest. And then apply. Oops. That's not working. Did I crop it after doing the image analysis? Let's just run image analysis again then. Image solver. Okay, let's run again. Let's see if this works. Yes, good, good. Alright, and if we run a unstretched screen transfer function, there we go, that's looking good. And note to self, make sure you run the image solver after any kind of cropping and stuff. Alright, we don't need that preview, that's all done. I guess we're going to have to run the image solver on this one again, aren't we? And because this is broadband data, we need to click on narrowband filters mode, and it's an L ultimate, so our bandwidths are 3. And we need to do the same as we did with our image. We need to take a segment that's completely empty and use that for our background neutralization. And let it run. Here we go, unstretched function, let's have a look. Okay, all is well. We can close those. Next it's time to stretch the data from linear to non-linear. If I were doing this in lots of detail, I might use generalized hyperbolic stretch. But for now, just for speed, I'm going to use easy soft stretch. So we're going to do that on the L quad, run, and then on the L ultimate. Great, I'm going to rename these L quad stretched and ultimate stretched. Let's make copies of these so we've got a safe backup if we mess anything up later on. Next we're going to deal with some of these stars. We want to take the stars out before we play about with the nebulosity. And we don't actually want the stars from this L ultimate data at all, because they are narrowband stars, so they don't have proper colours in. So let's just remove these. Alright, that's good. We want to remove the stars from this image, but we want to keep them because we're going to put them back in again at the end. So let's No, we don't. Let's do it like this. Right, we're going to remove the stars from this one, and then to produce the highest quality star field, we need to go to Script, Utilities, and we're going to use Screen Stars. This works better than the Create Star Mask in StarNet. So what we're doing star removal. Our star review is L quad stretched clone. And our starless view is L quad stretched clone clone. And let's run that. And here we have our stars. And this is a high quality star field that we've removed here, better than if you just done the star mask. I like to boost the color of the stars a little bit. So I'm going to go to color saturation. And to boost everything, it's hard to see, but there's a little marker just here that I'm going to click on and drag up, and that boosts the saturation of everything. That will apply. But I don't want there to be any green in here. No green stars, no thank you. So let's go to SCNR and apply that to remove green. Okay, now we're going to put our stars out of the way, and we'll need them later. Let's put this out of the way as well. And perhaps we should make some copies of these. L quad starless. And ultimate starless. We are definitely getting there. Now we've got options. We could work on each image separately, doing curves and various other functions like dark structure enhance and unsharp mask. To keep things nice and simple and fast, what I'm actually going to do is combine these into one image now, and then we'll work on that one single image. But as ever, I encourage you to experiment with different methods to see what works for you. So we're going to take our ultimate here, and we're going to split it. This button here, yeah, split RGB channels. So we've got our red, green, and our blue. Blue is always junk, it seems, that you get from these filters, but never mind. Right, next we're going to go to Script Utilities, and we've got some options. There is a function, where is it called? Oh, sorry, Script Toolbox. There's combine hydrogen alpha with RGB, and there is combine RGB and narrowband, and I find I get better results from the RGB and narrowband, even though there's only really hydrogen alpha in that data. So our RGB image is L quad starless clone, and then our red is here, and our green is here, and our blue, for what it's worth, is there. And we can play about with the different balance, the different settings here. So let's put in a bit more of the hydrogen alpha. Click on refresh. Yeah, because the hydrogen alpha is so strong, isn't it? You can see in the black and white image. It just looks so good. We don't want it to overpower everything else, but this is looking pretty fine. Alright, let's go with that for now. We're going to click on the tick. Here we have a combined RGB and L ultimate image. So let's make a clone of this. We'll call it narrowband RGB. Make a clone of that to work on. And we don't actually need these anymore. Now we can do our more regular processing for the image, doing things like curves transformation. Let's just give this a quick little play. boost that. Give it a bit of a curve, so we've got a darker background. Oh, have I done that too much maybe? Nebulosity, yes. Background a bit darker. And we can click this little real-time preview circle to see the before and after to make sure we're always making an improvement. Yes, I like that. And we can run some unsharp mask. And obviously I'm just doing this very quickly. That's probably a bit too much, isn't it? I do like the nice sharp images though. Let's zoom in. If we get all this speckling, well, you can see it's very noisy because we haven't actually run any noise reduction yet. But it's sharpening up the details, so let's run that. And talking of noise reduction, that's probably the best thing to do next. Now previously I used to run it normally about 0.6 like that, but I've actually found that I've got some decent results by putting it to lower but running it multiple times. It's probably just psychological, but let's just do that. And I've made a clone, so then we'll be able to compare. So let's run 0.2 a couple of times. That's once. Still very noisy though. Let's run it again. That's twice. Not bad. Let's run it once more. Alright, that's looking pretty good, I think. Let's just do a comparison for fun of the before and after noise reduction. So we need our two windows to be the same size. Let's zoom in here. To make the views match, we're going to drag and drop that name over this one. And then control page up or page down. Yeah, you can see much better after I've run it a few times. Let's call this NoiseX and make a clone of it to run. What should we do next? Let's run a little bit of dark structure enhance. Not too much though. Let's put it to about 2. And then perhaps a little bit of local histogram equalizer. We can have a look anyway. The default's always way too high, so it'll look terrible, but if we nudge it right down. I'm doing this really quickly, so I'm not doing masks or anything. But let's just see. Yeah, a bit more contrast there, so let's run that. Very good, very good. And then let's just bring the curves up again just to see if we can make it even better. We don't want to make it worse, do we? Just darkening that background a bit. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Then you can go round and round. You can do more, a bit more noise reduction, a bit more of everything. In fact, let's do just a little smidge more noise reduction. Righty-ho, time to put the stars back in, I think. So let's call this lead stars. Make a clone of that. To put the stars back in, we're going to go to Script, Utilities, Screen Stars, Star Replacement. The starless view is what we just made there. So that's now narrowband RGB need stars clone. And then the stars view is just called stars. We made that one earlier, if you remember. Looking good. You know what? We're almost done. So at this point we can do a crop, we can make some more adjustments, We could run our star reduction method if we wanted to, but we've just hit the 20-minute mark for this video, so I think that's long enough. So you can get the idea. You can make a few more tweaks from this, but it's pretty much done. One thing that I don't want to forget though, I normally forget it, so I'm going to really try and remember. Starry, we want to upscale, because you remember at the beginning we downsampled to bin times 2. We can get all that resolution back now at the end. And have a nice big image, so we can crop it however we like. There we go. I hope that was useful. Thank you very much.